Hey everyone, it's Erica. Today, in some Zoom lessons that I was a part of, I talked about this idea of a wiser self, and there are wiser self meditations. But more than the meditation piece today, what I actually wanted to talk just a little bit about is the traits of a wiser self. So when you think about you um, responding to life from the space of your wiser self, what are traits that that wiser self has? Some things that come up, people will say their wiser self is patient. Their wiser self is calm. It's not as reactionary. Uh, they are they're kinder, like to themselves and to others. Their wiser self knows that things work out. And this is not to diminish anything at all, but it's just this kind of reminder that within us, there is a wiser self. And when we get quiet, we can often hear the voice of that wiser self. So maybe it's helpful to think about a time in the past when you were going through something and your wiser self now is like, oh, yeah, this is what I would tell that version of me who was going through that thing. This is what I want them to know about it. So let's actually take a moment. You can come into a comfortable seated position, eyes closed or open, and just pause it. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And as you take these breaths in and breaths out, maybe you soften the muscles in the face and you relax the shoulders and feel the weight of your body against where you're sitting or standing. Just begin to picture yourself as a wiser self. You might not even know what that means, but maybe an image comes to mind, or maybe you see yourself standing or sitting in a certain way, a certain look on your face. Or maybe it's just the way that the wiser self feels. So give it a few breaths here to tap into this wiser self. And as you pause, feeling, seeing this wiser self, let me ask you, what does your wiser self want to say to you? Just give it some space here with breaths in and breaths out. What is it that the wiser self wants you to know? Maybe it's not so much advice as well wishes, a reminder. Just a few more moments here with breath, ease to the body. What wisdom does this self have to share with you? And then together, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And if your eyes were closed, let them open. You might want to sit with this a little longer, but I just wanted to introduce the idea of a wiser self. Sometimes it's good to be reminded that there is a wisdom that comes from stillness and quiet, that we don't always have to process and figure things out, talking or analyzing. That sometimes just being still and quiet. Sometimes from that space, we hear the voice of wisdom. Be well, everyone.